Welcome home. We are WNST, Taos, Baltimore, and Baltimore Positive. What a week. What a week this is. It's my birthday this week. Washington versus Baltimore this week, and the football thing that we pined away for 13 years. And I, for my birthday, not only getting Pizza John's pizza, Pizza John's crab cakes, crinkle cut fries with the proper gravy, and a meatball sub if I want, maybe even a chef's salad if I want to stay skinny, maybe even a cheesesteak with extra provolone. We'll be doing that with the Ravens scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery on Friday. It is my birthday. It is Luke's birthday. It is Leonard Raskin's birthday. It's Jim Palmer's birthday. It's Kiko Garcia's birthday. And also former Cleveland, back when they were called Frank Duffy, the shortstop, was also my birthday, October 14th. We'll be at Pizza John's in Essex. Come on out. It's all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery in conjunction with Liberty Pure Solutions, keeping our water clean. I got 26 oysters, 26 days. I didn't shave today, and I didn't shave on video because I had the great rock and roll Hall of Famer Todd Rundgren of Utopia, who is performing on Sunday night. I'll be up in York, Pennsylvania for that. So, John, I apologize that I'm not as polished. I'm not all Purple Friday'd up the way you are, even though you're really not a Raven fan. But it is a Raven competition. But you should adopt the Ravens because the Cleveland team's not going to give you a lot. It's fun to be a Raven fan right now. You would admit that.
It is fun just to be here with you, Nestor. That's more fun than any one person should have. You know, that menu that you just ran through at Pizza John's, that was quite the lineup until I realized you had 12 people at your birthday party that all shared the same day.
No, well,
Are
here's
all
the
those,
important thing. Do you like pineapple on your pizza?
I'm going to say no. I
All right.
like pineapple. I like pizza. I'm not a big fan of the pineapple on the pizza.
I'm going to be talking to Brett and Michelle over there about that this week because it is controversial. I'm a controversial guy, but pineapple, I love it. I've learned to love it, but it's not for everybody. But it's my birthday. If I want pineapple on my pizza, I'm going to have pineapple with pepperoni on my pizza.
Yeah, you should do that. You should absolutely do that.
Hey,
And
you're
and let me be.
celebrating some stuff here. So let me,
Oh,
before we get going here, I'll do transitions here, but we're into football season and we spent last month, and I always tell everybody 1-800-GAMBLER. If you think you have a problem, you do, and get some help. We talk so much about that. But in saying that, we're on the up and up. I was out in September eating oysters every single day. I was in sports bars and different places at night. I'm seeing people. Wagering was up. I don't think there's any question about that. I've talked to a lot of people. I've had people reach to me about doing shows and different things like that. Um, Marylanders wanted this, right? And you're the one here with news about where the money will go and all of that. But we're really onboarded now with mobile. We're a couple years in. Would you call it mature? Is that what you would call the market? Because you have some really impressive numbers for how much people really are wagering this time of year.
yeah, I think mature for the market is a fair assessment. Here we are now in the numbers have just been released this week on our September uh, sports wagering numbers, and the handle, the amount wagered, uh, over $530 million, a $500 million just in the month of September. And when you subtract the prizes paid, the bets that have been won, still a rather healthy hold, which is the money left after prices are paid. In aggregate, both retail and mobile, a 12.3% hold. Now, when you get to double digits, that's pretty darn good. So that was a very strong month for the operators. But the net of it is the state of Maryland took home 9.3 plus, nearly $9.4 million for the month of September. That is the best record transfer month we've had yet since inception. So a big check to the governor and the state for taxes in the month of September, a record amount of over $9.3 million.
One thing I love about having you on, John Martin from the Maryland Lottery joins us every week or thereabouts to really kind of discuss this stuff as grown-ups, which we try to do here in Baltimore Positive. I'm thinking that's a $500 million in a month, right? 530 million. I mean, that's that as we would put it that way. And I would think these are people that want can this eat into lottery money? Do people wager in different ways? And you use the word handle, which is a racetrack word for me. And I'm thinking, how long? And I was out there, I told Clem Florio stories this week and Charlie Ekman from the old days, but I'm thinking they used to have the handle out on the board at Pimlico and
Yeah.
Laurel, whatnot. And I'm thinking how long it would take to have a handle that's a $500 million. Like I'm thinking Preakness
Well,
upon Preakness upon Preakness, race upon race. It's just that I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money, John. I mean, I think anybody listening would say that as well.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And again, it's a little different than $2 a pop at a racetrack. So
Where it only happens 9 times a day,
yeah,
5 days a
yeah,
week. Right.
yeah. And you hope again, and we preach this and we will forever. We hope people are doing responsibly. They're playing within a budget, they're setting a budget and a time limit and well within that. But having said that, yeah, that is a lot of money. And we don't really see it. Now have any impact on our traditional lottery. They typically are different players. Now, certainly some people participate in both, and they also participate in going to a casino. But I think for the most part, it's a little different demographic. It is a little different preference for how they spend their entertainment dollars. And we found that there is enough of a market here in Maryland where the lottery can exist and generate its profits for its beneficiaries. Sports wagering can exist and the casinos can exist. And to what end, I don't know. I don't know how this ends or how it evolves, but we continue to look at this year after year and make sure that the guardrails are in place, that people are wagering responsibly, regardless of their game of choice, and that things are people are having some fun along the way.
Well, I would also say on the up and up. And I always go back to that. I had an interesting conversation 2 weeks ago about a TV show I did 25 years ago and the old 1-900 numbers and my old friend Mike Warren, who still lives in the area. And just like how wagering was done and bookmaker salads were made, and how now we're talking about $9 million this month for the state. But more than that, on the up and up. The bets are being paid out. The numbers are the numbers and the odds are the odds. And it just feels safe from a user standpoint and accessible. But I guess it really speaks to a couple of years ago when people were mad at you, mad at everybody that mobile wasn't on and how can they do it in that state and we're doing it in this state. But now it's working, functional, and people are having the experience they wanted to have. And I guess to close things and throw it back more to other lottery related things, it is amazing to me. I was at Costas 2 weeks ago. We did the crab cake tour there. And Costas is a great, study because there's 2 rooms, there's crabs, there's food, there's families, there's just a lot of different things going on. But when I go into the bar area, I'm seeing some people play racetracks and I'm seeing some people play Keno and I'm seeing other people just using, and I'm seeing some people watching sports and clearly on their phones because they're involved in mobile wagering. And I'm thinking to myself, it's a fascinating study of how people play the game and even the social part of people really having fun with Keno. I was flirting with some people that, they had everything out in front of them and how people engage. And it really is sort of a fun thing people do over a drink, social, a conversation, and it's $1 or 2. No, it literally is the spirit of, I think, why this was set up 51 years ago now.
Yeah, and you hope again that those things are in place. Again, those protections are in place, and the people are informed about the games they choose to play. They're staying within their guidelines, and they're having some fun and doing it. And it doesn't become a necessarily a way to pay the bills. It really should be discretionary dollars. There are always resources. 1-800-GAMBLER is one that is made very accessible in uh, every lottery location, in every casino, on every sports wagering platform. So if you or someone you know seems to be having some trouble managing that part of their life, then please reach out and get some help.
I tell you this, she's wearing purple. It is a purple week. It better be purple. I caught the Orioles owner down at the other ballpark in our state, which I know you don't want to disparage, especially when they're 4-1 and we're 3-2, and they've got the quarterback everybody's talking about. But Raven scratch offs are up, and you talk about silly fun, just fun. These $2 scratch offs, when I gave them away at Costas, I had winners at different tables. 2 weeks ago we were Faithley's. I'm going to be at Pizza John's. People really do have fun with this, and of all the things we talk about, mobile wagering, casino, things that people get physical about or really into or cheer for their team. This is your most popular scratch off, right? Like if the whole year, Doug tells me this is the most popular game.
Oh, no doubt. And not only is it popular because of the game itself, um, the second chance prizes, the experiential prizes. And this year, and you can go to mdlottery.com for all the details. This year, we introduced a couple new wrinkles in our second chance contest. One that is becoming quickly a favorite is called Fan of the Game, and it was modeled after our contestant of the game on the baseball side of the house. So every game, we pick a fan who submits an entry into their My Lottery Rewards account. And last week, we selected Audrey Harvey of Baltimore. Audrey won $1,000 for being selected and an additional $1,000 for each touchdown. And they had 5 touchdowns last week, Nestor. That means Audrey won $6,000. And coming up on deck for this weekend's game, Robert Beers of Frederick, Maryland. And we'll see what happens with Roberts.
The field goal's nothing,
No,
right? We don't want
field goes
those, right?
nothing. We three throw those back. It's
Wow.
touchdowns or nothing.
Well, it is kind of a special week. Every 4 years we get together here and it's us and them, from my perspective here. But I have talked a lot this week about how that's cooled down a little bit, like you're an outsider to this, right? The Cleveland side of things and the Cleveland, Cincinnati, Ohio, and that's a long way away. You don't feel any, you don't even feel, we're going to feel it Sunday, 1 o'clock is an important game, but it is weird to me how much disdain we had for that other franchise back in the
Yeah.
day before we became the kind of franchise that the director of the Maryland Lottery won't wear purple today.
It'd be interesting. And these tests happen this season, right? I mean, if you looked at the schedule when it came out months ago, and I know you did, you thought, week
This
six,
is a
Commanders. Yeah,
pushover.
right.
Homecoming.
Well, the,
It's a
the,
$300 ticket on the internet, John.
ooh,
The Commanders. This is the same thing with your baseball team, which may or may not be eliminated. Good luck to you, by the way, this week.
thank
Well,
you. Thank you.
bad stuff happened around here to us last week, so it's going to happen to 4 other teams this week. I'm just trying to make sure it's not
Yep.
you,
Yep.
because I do
Yep.
kind of like the Guardians. But like there was that time here and place where there really was like angst and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't like really smell it so much, but I would say this, the angst comes when your team's better. You know what I mean? Like I told
Well,
stories this week, 26 years ago, 28 years, we had the team. My friend he had tickets at RFK and Hitch and all that. And he made fun of my franchise. Like, and I'll never forget it. 30 years ago, we were out we had stolen we borrowed your NFL franchise in Ohio. And I remember thinking like we were like being laughed at, purple Barney uniforms. And now you're proudly wearing purple today. But it really is amazing how far it comes and what they're trying to do down there, which is rise again. And I tell you what, when their fans are up here this weekend taking some tickets, this is a big week. It's really a Maryland football celebration. It's good for everything, I think.
Well, to come back full circle to our opening story, September's handle was large this year on the sports wagering. That is in no small part to the rise of the Commanders. Not totally, but certainly they play their games in Maryland, and they are one of the few stadiums in around the country that have a retail sports book in the stadium, or at
Thanks
least
for
on the
reminding
stadium
me of
grounds.
that. I had
Yeah,
forgotten about that. Okay.
that's not a commonplace thing. It's still a very unique aspect of it, and this is a good measuring stick. I mean, clearly, are they the team that they think they are, or are they, not? And we'll find out
Well, you can
Sunday.
bet on it now. Like
Yeah, right. If you
you
feel that
certainly
strongly
can.
about it,
Oh
yeah.
well,
And you know what? And I appreciate the kudos on the purple sweater, but full disclosure, I'm not wearing pants.
well, you know what? It's like you look like a Northwestern football fan right now, or a Kansas State fan, or anyone else that's wearing purple. John Martin is here. He is the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. He pulls the purple sweater out just to do this show. We have the Raven scratch off, so we're going to be giving these away, Pete Shots. I have a whole list. John, I literally, and this is where you can pile on baseball, or we can promote Game of Thrones, or anything else that's going on. I'll throw to you, but I had plans for the month. Like obviously, this Pete John nothing. We're having fun this week. It's my birthday. But most fans here thought we'd be playing a couple of weeks. I couldn't make any crab cake tours. You have this big Halloween ween thing going on at MD Lottery that I saw. You've got a lot of plans this month, but I couldn't make as many plans. So I'm going to be having some more crab cake tours as we get going here because it is a little disappointing when your team goes that quick.
Well, you know what? Good for you because now you have opportunities to come and visit with us around the state. This weekend, we will be on the Eastern Shore with our Endless Summer Cruising event, the 27th annual. So stop by and visit us there in Ocean
That's
City.
cars, right?
That is cars and a whole lot
Wow.
more.
So
It's
my wife
fun.
would
And
love that.
you
She
know what?
loves
I haven't
cars.
seen the forecast. I think it's going to be a fairly decent weekend. I don't know that. But I hope it is. You'll be in Ocean City to enjoy that. And then, of course, if you're not out there this weekend, or even if you are on Saturday, you come back Sunday. We will be at the M&T Bank Stadium, as we often do for the home games. And then Monday, the 14th, a fun event. I know you've probably been there or at least aware of it. Purple Evening. It's a way that the Ravens engage their female fans, the women who are supportive of the team,
My
and
wife is a
we.
veteran of that event. Always loved that. She was at the very first one they did about 20 years ago. That
I'm
event's
not
really
surprised.
become something. That
It has
shows up all over my timeline the night it happens.
Yep, yep, and we are part of that. So if you're not familiar with it, or even if you are, come out and visit with us Monday evening.
As
But
they
we do
say,
have a
ladies, come on, let's go.
we do have a number of promotions this month. You talked about our Halloween promotion. You can get details at mdlottery.com. Another fun promotion we have is our Fast Play Fridays, and that's an opportunity for you to play any $5 fast play game for a chance to win a free fast play game of any denomination. So again, details on Fridays. Go to mdlottery.com. We have a couple Fridays left this month. Don't miss the exciting promotion with Fast Play Friday. Also, don't miss the $2.68 million jackpot and growing. Our progressive jackpot on our Fast Play game, the $30 Fast Play VIP Club. This is now our largest progressive jackpot available in the fast play genre of things. So watch mdlottery.com, watch your lottery retailers, and see if that jackpot continues to grow.
I think about the second chance with all this and being a grand prize winner and all that cool stuff you do. Is there any way we can rig the contest where we can just beat Washington? That the winner can say they get to lose? Because this is 4 years. 4 years you have to live with this. These preseason Governor's Cups, and none of that means anything anymore. Unless, of course, we meet them in New Orleans for the big game. You never know. But
Whoa,
like,
that's wow.
but it really is a bragging rights thing. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
4-1. Their fans are all riled up. We do play in the same state, and so it is sort of you know, I don't want
It,
to say
it, it
Fred
should
G.
be a good
Sanford,
game.
but this is the big one, I would say.
It, Elizabeth, it should be a good one. It should be a good one. Hey, we like to make our fans aware, and I think between you and I, we may have a fan, or maybe two. Our wives, but they don't really count. They're compelled to listen to this
You get
show.
to know, my wife doesn't watch the show. I mean, no way.
Oh my! So that one is just one.
Maybe if I have Todd Rundgren on, maybe.
Wow! 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 Yeah. But I've got some news you can use and file away for a future date.
Okay.
I know. Speaking of your lovely wife, she's a big fan of Mega Millions jackpots. Uh,
Only when it's 101 or more. Not even
well,
that. She's got to get to like 253 now.
well, it's triple digits, so it's 150 and growing. So we'll see what happens on
All right,
that. But
she's in now. Good.
we are we are announcing all around the country this week. We are announcing a new and improved Mega Millions game that will be launched in April. So this is plenty of lead time. But I think our fans of Mega Millions game will be very, very interested to hear. We're looking at bigger jackpots, better odds, a built-in multiplier, and no break-even prices, which means whatever you pay for your ticket, you're guaranteed to get at least twice that on a winning ticket. We'll have a lot more details as the months lead on. We'll probably
That
give you
sounds
an
like it
update.
puts more back into Kitty. Is that right? Sort of?
Well,
Maybe?
sort of.
Maybe? Or I don't
So,
know.
yeah, sort of.
I don't know
So,
math. If I knew math, I'd be you. Think about it.
oh boy, there's an opening there that I'm just gonna let go by. I'm gonna, I'm gonna let that one go by. Um, So the appeal to the players is that we have not had an increase in the game significantly since 2017. Back then the game was $1. We made it a $2 game. We added some features and functions in 2017. In 2025, 8 years later, the price will go from $2 to $5. But for that investment, you are now going to get a lower odds on the overall jackpot. You're going to get a starting jackpot at $50 million. You're going to get your winning prize of at least $10 or more. And each number play you select will have its own multiplier built in. So if you select your lucky Mega Million numbers, the computer will randomly generate a number 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 as a multiplier. And then if you're fortunate enough to hit, that multiplier kicks in. And if you buy 3 lines on your ticket, each one will have its separate multiplier. So ways for people to win more, larger jackpots, a lot more fun, and look forward to more details once we get into the beginning of 2025. Between now and then, the game is still the same. Nothing changes today, tomorrow, next week, next month, but these changes all will happen the first week of April in 2025.
A little part of the old TV show Different Strokes. I'm like, what you talking about, John Martin? I'm thinking like now thinking this through. I'm thinking I have to get 6 months to get all this together because my wife's still probably going to play $20 because that's what she does. So it's going to be a $5 ticket times four, but multipliers in, right? So I'm just trying to get this through my mind, right? The game's going to change a little bit, but my wife's going to love it.
We think people will love it. We think they'll love the chance to win larger prizes. We think they're going to love better odds. We think they're going to like bigger jackpots that grow more frequently. So let's see what
So
happens.
it starts at 50 million though, right? No more, no longer 20.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
but gets us closer to 100, and I'll get my wife closer to playing. And one day, and I told Todd Rundgren this, John, and if I hit the big one, or she hits the big one, we hit the big one, I won't be doing the show next week. I mean, maybe next week because I love you and I do love doing the show. Give it a little bit of lead time. But by Thanksgiving, I'll be in Walea. I promise you, I'll be in Hawaii, and all inspired by Todd Rundgren, who lives in Hawaii. John Martin is a man who allows us all to dream and dream big sometimes, and just dream of like big Ravens prizes when I give these away on Friday. We do the Maryland Crab Cake Tour each and every week. John plays along, and we get these great scratch offs to give away. And sometimes I get $20 winners, $50 winners, and sometimes my wife's involved in Mega Millions or Powerball, and we're gonna have a new Mega Millions game as well. So there's some breaking news. You knew I wasn't gonna grasp that the first time, right?
Oh, we're going to talk about this forever. Well, maybe not forever, but at least for the next 6 months. Hey, and one more thing. Next time you talk to Todd,
Mm-hmm.
tell him, hello, it's me.
I've thought about us for a long, long time. John Martin is here. He is the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. You know what I would say? And he told a great story about this because his kid played minor league baseball. He produced Meatloaf's Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Phil Rizzuto and the lines from Paradise were all in there. There was a lot of baseball involved. But he told me that he made his wealth, the money he has on bang the drum. I don't want to work. I just want to bang on the drum all day. So there is your Todd Rundgren reference for everybody to go listen to it. He's playing up in York, Pennsylvania on Sunday night for my birthday, for Sammy Hagar's birthday, our birthday. And I'm giving away, like, come on by, get some pizza. And I'm giving away free scratch offs from the Maryland Lottery. Will be at Pizza John's in Essex. It's a tough thing for a Dundalk guy to go to Essex on his birthday. You know the pizza's going to be good. We're back River Neck Road. We'll be down there, courtesy of our friends at the Maryland Lottery, as well as Liberty Pure Solutions, Jiffy Lube Multicare, and Curio Wellness and Foreign Daughter, who are putting on our 26th anniversary and my 56th birthday. Luke's younger, so I'm going to adopt him at 42. I'm Nestor, 40, 41. I don't want to make him older than he is. I am Nestor. We are WNST AM 1570 Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking. Responsible wagering, as we always say around here, but have some fun this week, especially with this Washington to Baltimore thing. Doesn't happen too often. And I'm going to make John Martin wear burgundy and gold next week if we lose somehow. Back for more right after this on Baltimore Positive.